Another night at the ballpark here as the Blue Jays host the Kansas City Royals again in the second game of 4. And why not? Swing and a miss, and yet another slider, 1 down. He's never given up a run to the Royals in 2 starts against them in his career. Driven to center field, high and deep. She's gone. What a rocket to center off the bat of Teoscar Hernandez. And it is 4-0.
Hit in the air and deep down the left field line. You can forget it. He buries it into the 200 level. A 3-run home run for Chapman.
It's over. Got him with a high fastball to end the ball game as the Blue Jays even up the series with a nice, well-rounded 8-1 victory here tonight.
Before the players jump on a plane and head to various destinations, some of them bound for Los Angeles in the All-Star game, the Blue Jays have 2 more to play against the Kansas City Royals, and on Jordan Romano hot day, they will send Max Castillo to the hill as the roof is open, the sun is shining, it is getting warmer and warmer because summer is getting intense. And you're going to feel it today if you're here at the ballpark, wherever you may be watching here in Canada. Thank you so much for joining us on Blue Jays Central. I'm Jamie Campbell. Joe Siddall is here. He's got lots to say about the most recent victory. That came last night. The Blue Jays, as you heard Dan Shulman say in the opening, 8-1 victors over the Royals last night. Boy, oh boy, they were tremendous. Scoring 8 times on 16 hits. Alek Manoah proved why he deserved to head to the All-Star game, and he'll be doing so after tomorrow's game. So here's the meeting on the mound in the third of this 4-game series as Max Castillo goes for the Blue Jays. Announced earlier today, he started Sunday in Seattle, no surprise here, and went 4 1/3, gave up just an earned run. Left-hander Daniel Lynch is on the mound for the Royals, and on June 6th faced the Blue Jays in Kansas City. Gave up 3 home runs in that game. 1 to Bo, 1 to Vladdy, 1 to Santiago Espinal. And in fact, let's focus on him. You couldn't wipe the smile off Santi's face earlier today, and Arash Madani at field level has an explanation as to why.
Jamie, it was one of the great moments of this season, a moment of humanity, a moment of triumph, a moment of achievement. You think about Santiago Espinal's story. Acquired in the Steve Pearce trade. He had been playing for the Salem Red Sox, and quietly he was coming up in the system, has been in a utility role, was supposed to platoon with Cavan Biggio, don't forget, this season. And then he became the starting second baseman, and then he became the everyday second baseman, and then he just continued to produce. And today, inside the clubhouse, this happened.
In baseball, as coaches and as players, you never know when something cool or something weird is going to happen, and I think today's something cool that I wanted to share in front of everyone. With a lot of hard work, Santiago Espinal named a Major League All-Star.
And after his teammates finished congratulating him and jumping on him, Espinal picked up the phone, called his dad, and they both cried.
It's surreal, you know. It's a blessing just to be an All-Star. And when I got the news today, it's tears started coming down. I called my family. The first thing I did was calling my dad. He started crying. In the family group chat, my dad said it, that I made the All-Star, and everybody just started screaming, being happy, and you know, this is one of the best moments of my life too. Yeah.
Isn't that amazing? One of the best moments of his life as we welcome in Ben Wagner, the radio voice of the Blue Jays. Here's what's wild. Espinal's father, also named Santiago, he's supposed to have surgery next week. That has now been postponed because Dad and the entire family are headed to Los Angeles for the All-Star game. I get it's in Hollywood. This is a Hollywood script.
It's an unbelievable story for Santiago Espinal. It's happening currently, but I think about the journey over the last couple of years for Santiago Espinal as well. It was in the 2020 pandemic season. His family was reeling. They had just lost his mother, Ingrid. He was fighting through a season in the minor leagues, wondering if he'd ever get a chance even to remotely play in the big leagues. His mother said, "Keep on fighting. Don't worry about me. I'll be fine. Just play your game." Playing his game then put on pause. He finds out he makes the opening day roster in the shortened pandemic season. He bursts onto the scene in 2021. And here, with all the hard work, the family commitment behind him, he is now a Major League All-Star.
Yeah, Mama knows best, doesn't she? And it's interesting, just yesterday when I spoke with Espinal, he was talking about, hey, look, I have to be more aggressive in the second half of the season. I have to be more consistent. He always is thinking about improvement, but today was his opportunity to reflect on that journey and really, truly understand just how far he has come.
Nothing's impossible. I mean, you know, hard work pays off, you know, obviously, but you know, what this for me, this means I just got to keep working. Just got to keep working and keep accomplish those goals that I always wanted, and not to ever give up, you know. There's nothing in the world that you're not allowed to do, you know what I mean? Like, if you want to reach your goal, you're going to reach your goal by working hard and showing up every day and being consistent. And so, yeah.
You're floating.
I mean, he really was. He was floating there. He was trying to stay in the moment and say all the right things. Very neat deal. But yeah, I mean, look, he talks about the hard work in that clip. We come out here at what, 3 or 3:30 every afternoon, and who's one of the first ones out here doing drills with Luis Rivera? Who's out there taking infield? It's Espinal. This is not by accident. It's a remarkable story of what was a minor leaguer that nobody really had their eye on reaching the All-Star game, but it's a byproduct of what he's put into this thing.
Absolutely. Think back to 2018. Steve Pearce was shopped off to the Boston Red Sox. The return, a low-level minor leaguer, Santiago Espinal, and then he started to take hold of his own career, his own objectives. And I think back to just in the last calendar year where it all started to change for Santiago Espinal. 2021 season, he was on the shuttle a little bit, back and forth between AAA and the big leagues, and he had a goal to change his body for the long haul, the endurance. Everybody makes a point to bring up the 15 added pounds of muscle from this season, but it was the nutrition change, the sleep habits that started to really change how he was approaching his work ethic in last year. And for the first time in his entire career, he gained weight during a season. Now the byproduct of the weight, the muscle add, exit velocity, he's hitting the baseball harder, and he has emerged not only as a great offensive threat for the Toronto Blue Jays with what he's doing at the bat and driving the ball into the gaps, but his versatility and the range at second base has improved at the major league level, and that's hard to do.
And the versatility is so critical. They can put him almost anywhere in the infield, and Espinal has played third and short and second. I still remember in Kansas City, he got a cleanup. I mean, they've asked a lot of him this year. The Blue Jays asking a lot of Max Castillo. Officially today named the starter. Danny Jansen will catch him. It's been an interesting go over the last month or so with Castillo. He was a little nervous in his debut with the Blue Jays, settled down against Milwaukee, looked really good against Seattle after he was optioned down because of a numbers crunch. And now it's Castillo again. The Blue Jays opting to not go with an opener first like they have in the past. They're just going to go all systems go with him.
Yeah, using Trevor Richards last night, flipped the script, give him a clean mound and let Max Castillo get on the hill and do what he did at the start of this season in AA. Really good returns. Translated then to AAA, and the Blue Jays were desperate for somebody to jump into the rotation and give them depth, and Max Castillo can do that. And he's developed at the major league level. Talking yesterday with Pete Walker about the encouraging signs with Max Castillo, fastball changeup combination, but they've adjusted the grip on the slider and gotten rid of that kind of swervy sweeping slider. They've added a little bit more depth. They think it'll translate, especially today, against this Kansas City Royals lineup.
Yeah, went more than 4 innings against Seattle. It was the former Mariner, Sergio Romo. who is sent out today, designated for assignment. Jeremy Beasley has been called up. And Jamie, the Blue Jays also made a minor league trade with Kansas City. So a lot happening today on an afternoon where Santiago Espinal has found out he is headed to the All-Star game.
All right, thank you, Arash. What a day for Espinal. An all right-handed lineup today against the Royals. Unofficially, Teoscar Hernandez is hitting .417 while wearing the fake stirrups. He's getting a real one shipped to him. Let's focus on Espinal, though, and he feasts on left-handed pitching. 8th best batting average in the American League against lefties. 10th best OPS in that respect. So we'll see what he can do from the 8th spot, hitting directly ahead of Danny Jansen. Let's bring in Joe Siddall on something that seems to be developing day to day with the Blue Jays. And I want to show you the numbers on how the Blue Jays fare from a production standpoint in the first inning and the fourth compared to the second and third. Notice that they produce mostly in the second and third innings, but not so much if you look at the MLB rank in the first and the fourth. And you might have seen a reason for this in yesterday's game. Explain why this is the case, Joe.
Well, part of the reason for sure is the top few hitters in your lineup in that first inning, they're seeing the pitcher for the very first time. Now, if you're in the bottom half of the lineup, say where Teoscar is, Gurriel, Chapman, these guys have secured a lot of information. Not only have they seen the starting pitcher pitch to the hitters ahead of them, a lot of those hitters ahead of them are just like them. They're right-handed. So when you see a Zach Greinke that is using the slider and cutter away, the fastballs away, you stay on the pitch a little bit better. And I thought they did it very well in the first inning. And then Tapia down in the lineup comes up, and he's left-handed. He's different. What's he looking for? You're at the bottom of the lineup. You look for a first pitch heater, and you get it. Second inning comes around, and now Teoscar has a ton of information. These are all different things when you're coming up after seeing 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 hitters in front of you that are just like you. You can see what the starting pitcher's game plan is. So they may not score in the first inning. And I hate to say that, George and Vladdy and Kirk and Bo, they might be guinea pigs a little bit because they're seeing what is the game plan for this guy today. Generally, you have an idea what it is. But when you're coming up after those guys, you've seen a lot of pitches. You've gained a lot of information. And it does not hurt that the bottom half of the lineup, they happen to be swinging the bats pretty well right now when you look at what Gurriel has done lately. And, of course, Matt Chapman now coming on. Espinal has been very steady for the most part this season. So it's a lot of information. Good hitters can take advantage of that information.
Jordan Romano hat day today, and there'll be a lot of people in the building. It's a beautiful one for a ball game as they continue to make their way in to see the Blue Jays take on the Royals today on Sportsnet.